I was sanding up this wing. It was a little thin over here. So, hey everybody, welcome. This is the Ground Up RC. My name's Aaron. If you have not been here before, hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe button. Get notified every time we got a new video, which is, well, when I get them up right now. Share it with your friends. Follow along. I hope you like it. This is pretty much where we're at on this. I put these pieces in. I think that's solid. I think it'll break the ribs first. I think I'd benefit better from putting a plywood 16th inch plywood doubler right there on the plywood, but or the balsa, but that's what we got going on. Make my little balsa stuff that's going to come up here and level off with the cap strips for the covering, and then I'll set this in there, center it up, square it up, drill my holes, mount it, and then we'll put the aileron in and figure out where that slot needs to be in the servo. So I'm just going to use this 3/16 by 3/8 stuff. I'm going to cut this end flush, and then I'll stick it in there. I'll mark it, cut it about the same length as I did these, and then I'll put a notch in it to fit around the cap strips. Right, so that's how it's going to sit in there, and that's all we did to notch it. So sits flush and sits up tight, and I'll just glue it right here on the back side, and I'll even glue it along this edge so the covering can't, one, pull it away, and then I feel like it adds a little bit of strength. Alright, so aileron's installed. Control horn, this is screwed down roughly where we need it. These are just size 2 screws. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a ruler, and we'll do this one-handed, or we'll try to, and so I think that's where we want it. Looks pretty even to me. We'll do the same on that side. I'll have the servo sitting there like that, and I'll put the posts in there where I want them. I'll get the servo arms that I'm going to use, pop them on, make sure it's in line with that line, draw it up and cut it out. And I had this fit in here, and to come this way, it still binds up here on the top. I'm going to work on sanding that down a little better so we can get better deflection both directions and pull this out. And this one does it too, right? So you can see we don't have that much deflection, and it's already binding right there. Plus, we got to add the thickness of our stuff, and I don't need it to come clear up here. You know, we're talking, that's a lot of deflection. I only need about that much, but we don't have that much coming down, so I'm gonna fix that up. And once we get those, this thing's gonna be ready for sanding. We gotta sand this stuff off. I put that there to build it up, and anyway, so we'll have to sand that, sand the front edge. We'll show you. I was sanding up this wing, getting it ready to cover, and it was a little thin over here, so I didn't even get to shaping that corner, and so I went through mostly just about like it is here on the bottom. But I think what I'm gonna do, and I wasn't gonna record this, I decided I should, is I'm gonna cut that up until I feel like I got some decent thickness. So I'll probably end up having to come up here a little more, and then I'll get a piece of balsa, whatever thickness I need it to, and I'll just slip it in there one-handed, you know, because that's easy. Kind of like that, and then we'll just put some thin CA on it and let that do its thing, and then we can sand it and finish it off, and that'll give some meat there to sand. So that's one way I think you can fix this. Alright, those are all glued in. I fine fit this one with my sanding block right there. This one I roughly cut out, then I sanded it to match that angle that I put in the sheeting, and then I just sanded this side here until it slipped in there. And so now it's solid right there. I'll wait for these ones to dry up, and then I'll rough sand them, and then I'll fix these ones down here. Anyway, that's how I fix holes in the wings. If you got a different method for fixing a hole that you sanded through the sheeting, besides ripping the whole sheet off and replacing the whole sheet, drop a comment, let me know, and you know, that'll help out the viewers, any viewers that got any other questions. So I want this channel to just be fun for people that want to learn how to build, people that know how to build and just want to watch, and people that want to build but don't have the time or the place. So anyway, share it, like, subscribe.